Hello everyone, Happy New Year. All right, so we're going to do the My Magical Month of December. And right here I have a candle lit. Let me see if I can show right there. Yep. All right, so that is my Kalyak candle. Kalyak was who I dedicated the month of December to. And yeah, so that candle was, I still had some of it, so I'm just gonna let it go while I do this video. Yeah, so here were my spiritual journals for 2024. This was my main spiritual journal, and this was my nightly tarot journal. All right, so yeah, let's get this started. I'm going to show this one first, mainly because there were only 2 pages in this that I completed because I used an Hobonichi A6 day free. There was just not enough space in here, so I ran out of space basically. So I only had 2 pages that I filled for this for the month of December. Let me find here. So I had the Kalyak opening, and I used the Wisdom of the Kalyak, which I will pull out in a moment. I'm just going to show this one. I used the Wisdom of the Kalyak, and I used the Tarot Yokai for that reading. And then the only other reading I did, I don't even have a picture because I only had 1 page available for this one, and that was it was a Yule reading, but it was also a combination of the new moon, I believe. And I just wrote Yule right there. So I used the animal spirit, the wild unknown animal spirit oracle for that. And I also used the everyday witch. And I'll pull those out in just a second. There was just not enough room to write in there. So I kind of combined it. I did not do any of the other moon readings. I mean, honestly, this one was more of a Yule reading and not a moon reading. But it was done on the new moon. So yeah, there just wasn't room, and December was extremely busy for me. I just didn't have time to take time out of my schedule to do the moon readings. So honestly, December is the only month I did not do the moon readings. I did the moon readings every single month before that. So yeah, so that was 2024. Okay, so at the end we will be going over the tarot tournament. So yeah. So let's go over some of the decks. Because since I didn't do the moon readings, we're just gonna go over my whatever I used in the weekly here. And I keep getting a pop-up of I'm in a group chat with my family, and group chats are so annoying. And they're all messaging each other right now, so they keep popping up on my screen. So anyway, so this was my nightly tarot journal, and the months I started off decorating the pages, and the monthly page. I started off decorating the pages and then pulling a card any mornings that I could remember to do it. And I started off okay on that, but as you can see, the places where I have the stickers, those are the days that I didn't pull. And I quickly learned that I am not good at doing spiritual stuff in the morning. It just doesn't come to me. I don't know. I've got 3 kids. I've got a family. It's just mornings are just not the time for me to do this, And I already wake up early. I wake up at between 5 and 6, maybe sometimes a little after 6, but I wake up early, and I just don't have, I don't know, morning stuff just doesn't come to me. So, yeah, you got the more stickers you see, the more I didn't do it. And it was around this month, and as you can see, the decorations stopped this month because for this book, I did all of the monthly decorations. I pre-did them beforehand, which was the way to go for sure. And because I didn't do that in the weeklies, in this book, the nightly journal, I had to decorate each month. And some of these I didn't these I didn't do until near the end of the month. So yeah, I can't do it like that. I've got to pre-do everything, because if I have to do things month by month, it just won't get done. So yeah, so the rest of the months were not decorated, and as you can see, I fell off a lot on the daily card pulls. But it was around this month, I think this is August, yeah, the month that I dedicated to Lou, that I kind of started to switch things up, and I started to pull, instead of the morning, I started to pull my oracle card at night with my tarot reading. And that made much more sense. I started doing this much more. Obviously, not every single day, which is fine. But it happened a lot more. And unfortunately, I did not do it on the last day of the year. It's just, it was New Year's Eve. We were staying up till midnight. By the time we got to the bedroom where my decks are, it was midnight. So it was too late to do anything. So yeah. So this month was dedicated to Kaliak, and so I used the Wisdom of the Kaliak Oracle, which I was really excited to use. I got this deck this year. It's been on my wish list for like 2 years, but it's one of those things that you've got to be on a wait list for, and then like the last time there was a run of this deck, I just couldn't, I wasn't in a position where I could get it, so I had to pass on it. So when it came around again, I jumped at the chance. And this is a stunning, stunning deck. It's done by Jane McBride in Ireland. And so it is, I think, more associated with the Irish Kaliak as opposed to the Scottish Kaliak. Now, I'm still not sure which I don't know which branch. Branch is a weird word for that, but I lean toward I think I lean toward the Scottish Kaliak, honestly, and which is interesting because my primary focus is Irish paganism, but when it comes to the Kaliak, there's something about her energy that, I don't know, I feel leans Scottish, and my ancestry is mostly Scottish, actually. So, yeah, but like my spirituality is very much Irish paganism. So, yeah. Anyway, so lovely, lovely deck. The images on this deck are just absolutely stunning. Oh, look at that one, really, really pretty. The cardstock, though, it's a little, because they're so large, they're like altar cards. They're not meant for you to use like multiple cards in a reading. Not necessarily. I mean, you can, of course. I think they're more meant like altar cards, and that's kind of, I pull one card. So yeah. So let me, since I have this out, I might as well go over the weeks and show what the decks look like against, or not against, but with the Kaliak. All right, so let me find, so the the first day of the month was during the last week of November here. So I used the Murder of Crows, but I kept that to November. So in December, I use the Tarot Yokai. So let me get this out. And yeah, we'll just, so how I use this, I had the card over here, and then I would pull a reading like that, 3 cards like that. And I guess we could keep doing it like that, since that is how I used it. All right, so we'll split this into 3 piles then. And yeah, all right. Hopefully there's enough room on because these are large cards. I mean, the Kaliak cards are quite sizable. They're altar cards, and then these ones are tall. So, all right. So, I mean, I thought this looked lovely. I mean, we are mixing cultures here, because this is Japanese mixed with the Irish / potentially Scottish Kaliak energies. But yeah, I still felt like the energies worked for this, at least in my opinion. I don't know, and I liked the art with it as well. I think it went well. yeah, I mean, there's not much else I really need to say about this. I am starting to um, feel more connected with this Tarot Yokai deck. It is in French. I don't know if I want to do like a full study of it. I'm planning on doing a full study of the Kamito Yokai Oracle, which is very, very similar to this. It's the same size. It is different artists, but it's very, very similar. I'm going to do a full study on that. I have a notebook. It's a Hobonichi Weeks and because that deck has 52 cards, I'm using, it's basically a card a week. That said, I will not be doing a card a week. It's not dated. It's just, it works out for the Hobonichi Weeks because of how many weeks there are in a year. That's a project that I'm kind of going to come off and on, if that makes sense, throughout this year and probably next year. It's going to span a while. So yeah, lovely combination here. Okay, so the next week, and as you can see, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. The next week, I did the Guardian of the Night Tarot, and I only did 3 days, but let me pull that out real quick. I absolutely love, this is one of my favorite bags, deck bags for sure. And this, I would say, is a pretty high contender for deck of the month. But I'm not quite sure because as I said, I was really connecting with the Tarot Yokai, which I hadn't before in the past. So, yeah. Now this one does have, these are kind of large, so I don't know if that I'll be able to fit 3 piles here. But this combination looked amazing. I mean, this is just stunning. I really, really enjoyed this. This is a very much a wintry kind of deck for me. I don't think that's like what it's intended for necessarily. I think other people kind of like it in different seasons, but because I have the independent version, there's something about the dark teal borders. The backs of these feel very wintry to me. There's just a general vibe of this deck that does feel very winter. And I think that's why I was maybe leaning toward this as being deck of the month, but I'm not sure. And like I said, I only did 3 readings at night with this. So, but it is just beautiful, and I like the nature energy of this, especially with these Kaliak cards. Very lovely. One more round here. Yeah. I like this. It's beautiful. So the next week, I did the Intuitive Night Goddess. And again, I only did 3 days here. So let me pull that out. I keep it in the bag that it came with. I got this deck in a Witch's Moon box, and it came with this bag. Oh, I tied this a little tight here. There we go. It came with this bag and the stone. I think it's Snowflake Obsidian, but I can't quite remember what this stone was. And honestly, I just kept them together. I kind of like this deck with this bag. I didn't make a bag for it. I don't think I'm going to, which for some of my decks is a bad sign because it means that I didn't do the extra work in connecting with it. But for some decks, I honestly just like whatever they came in, and it just seems superfluous to create another bag for it when I have something that I kind of like for it already. So so I just kind of kept it with its sheer bag, and I keep it with the little Snowflake Obsidian. So this combination worked fantastically. I mean, there's not much to say about this. This obviously goes well together. And I do really like this deck, but it's kind of I don't really read a lot of the imagery that I see on it. It's kind of one of those decks that I kind of read as if it was kind of like a pip deck, you know what I mean? because that's just, I see it and I just see Four of Cups or Temperance and Warrior of Pentacles and see, and that this throws me off too, because I have to remember warriors are knights. Yeah, because this is such a feminine heavy deck, they renamed a lot of the suits, and they renamed other things. Like any card that felt that was like masculine named or something like that, they renamed. And there's other things in this deck that they also renamed, and I don't mind it. It's just sometimes it throws me off. I tend to prefer cards keeping with the same name. Look at the green in that. That's gorgeous. So anyway, the combination was nice. I liked it. So yeah, because this is a deck that I just kind of use, ooh, and I put some of these upside down. There we go. That I kind of use almost like a pip deck. It's not something that I feel especially drawn to. I like it, but I don't like love it, if that makes sense. I like it though. Yeah, so that is the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. And it is a deck that feels very wintry to me, because these are supposed to be stars, I think, in the background, but they really look like snow. So, I mean, this is definitely a deck that I bring out in the wintertime for sure. Now, the next week is actually the last week that I did in my journal. There was one more week. Oh, this was the Intuitive Night Goddess. There was one more week that I just didn't fill out because it starts in the new year. So I wanted to use my new journal for this, for my 2025 one. So I skipped this last week in favor of my new book. So there we go. But the last one I did was the Capybara Tarot, and this is actually a new deck for me. I haven't even done a review of this yet on my channel. It's a deck that I got for Christmas, and because of that, you only saw 2 pages that I did. Yeah, let me see here. Or two days that I did. It was the last 2 days of this week. And that's because my mom was here this entire week for Christmas. And I just, like, we stayed up late. I really didn't pull cards. It's not where my mind was at. My mind was just spending time with family, you know? And so I didn't even decorate this page until afterward. I used the Capybara Tarot for the last 2 days. I got it for Christmas. So, yeah. And here we go. I'll show just a few of this because I am going to do a walkthrough of this. Obviously not in order because I've been using this deck, but I will lay out just a little bit of it. And, you know, it's a bit silly with the Wisdom of the Kaliak because it's such a serious deck, and combined with these cute little capybaras, you know, it's not exactly, I mean, this is gorgeous with this, but it's not exactly the same sort of energy, but you know what, it's fine. I enjoyed it. It was fine. It looks cute. Yeah, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because I do want to mention, I will be mentioning this deck quite a bit in January in my videos because I will be doing a Yule haul video, and I'll also be doing a separate video for this deck and the other deck that I got for Christmas. All right, so that is the Capybara Tarot. Now, I will briefly pull out the deck that I used for December 30th. Even though it's not recorded in this book, it is recorded in the new one. But I did, because I pulled it on the 30th, it is in the month section. So I will pull this out briefly. I only did one reading of this, so we'll see how it looks. And that was the Zelda Tarot, and oh, I have it upside down. And yeah, I just did a walkthrough of this. I think it's the last video of 2024, very last video, because this was a Kickstarter I got. I'm really excited about this. It's super cool. I will go ahead and separate this into 3, and you know what, I'm similarly to the Capybara, it's a bit too, it's a bit less serious than, say, the Wisdom of the Kaliak, but I still kind of like together. It worked. It's fine. You know, we'll do some of that. Yeah, I mean, especially with the more green cards like that, it did look pretty cool. I will say that I think the deck that looks the best with this so far has been the Animal Spirit one. And in fact, that is the deck I'm using for the whole week that I'll be using this deck. Because I'm filming this on January 1st, by the way. Yeah, so I am definitely still, I'm using this deck with the Animal Spirit, and I will be going over that in the next My Magical Month. All right, so that was the Zelda Tarot that I used extremely briefly. Yeah. Now, I pulled out really quickly the Animal Spirit oracle here because of that Yule spread that I did with the Everyday Witch. So I just wanted to show a little bit of this, and of course this combination is fantastic. Not much I can say about it. It's a really nice combination, and I pre-picked this out for my Yule reading. So yeah. Do one more of this, and then we'll move on to what everyone, I'm sure, and by everyone, I mean like the 5 people who watch my videos, what everyone is waiting for, which is the tarot tournament and the finale of it. So, all right, so that was the Animal Spirit with the Everyday Witch. Now, I will say that some of the things that will be changing for 2025, I don't think I'm going to be filling out a monthly page in this journal. I think I'm going to just keep doing what I've been doing and put the oracle here with the tarot. So I'll instead of it being 3 cards here, or like I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it as 3 cards and just do the middle as the oracle, and then the other 2 sides as the tarot. I'm still trying to figure that out, and if I want to do that or not, or if I want to do what I've been doing, which is pulling 1 oracle and then 3 tarot. And if that's the case, I'll have to squeeze in a bit more. Yeah, so. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so that is the plan. I also think for 2025, instead of keeping the same oracle deck for the month, which is what I was doing here, it's the same oracle cards every single day for each month. Like this one was the Lakshmi Oracle, and this was the Wisdom of the Kalyak, you know, and it fit with whatever it's doing. This I was pulling pulling Ogham for instead of an oracle card, which is something I'll probably continue in 2025 as well. But I think I want to do it week by week instead for 2025. That way I can match a little bit better with the oracle decks that I'm using. All right, so let's move on to drum roll, the tarot tournament. Yeah, so here are the decks I used for December. The only 2 months that I didn't fill out decks I used was October and August. I went ahead and did that every other month. These, I'm going to do the same thing in 2025. I actually printed off the exact same papers and stuck them into my journal. And I have a whole video on my channel going over, like, you know, putting together my tarot or spiritual journal for 2025. It's a really long video. There's a lot of rambling. It's unpolished, and that's up on my channel. It's like an hour long, so yeah. And then this was my wish list, which I didn't fully fill out. And I checked off some of the ones that I had on here. There were others that I got that I didn't fully check off, and I could have filled this out more. It's just I fill this out when I see a deck, I like the deck, and so I add it to the thing. But I don't always do that. And I have the same thing for 2025, so we'll see how that goes. And here are all the decks that I got in 2024. I'm going to do a whole video on this. So there we go. Here we are at the tarot tournament. All right. All right, so I think my top contenders for deck of the month was the Tarot Yokai and the Guardian of the Night Tarot. The thing is, I used this one more, and I did find that I was becoming more connected with this deck, which I was having troubles with earlier. So that I kind of want to point out and say that, like, I really use this deck, and I do enjoy it. Problem is, I kind of like this deck more, and I didn't use it as much. But at the end of the day, I think I gotta give it to the Guardian of the Night. Yeah, and which is funny because before I started this video, I really thought I was gonna pick the Tarot Yokai, but as I was going through this, I think I gotta pick Guardian of the Night, which is not the same thing as the Guardian Tarot, which is up here. So, Guardian of the Night. Tarot. I'll go ahead and put tarot on there, even though this is all tarot. And that is one thing that's changing for 2025. I am doing 2 tournaments for 2025. I'm doing a tarot tournament and an oracle tournament. So, yeah. So now it is between the Gourmet Tarot and the Guardian of the Night Tarot. Oh my God, that is a tough decision. I think I got to give it to the Gourmet Tarot. Gourmet Tarot. All right, so now we got to narrow these down. Okay, so between Sacred Sites and Cosmic Slumber. Yeah, that took me like just a minute to think, and then I got it. So for January, my favorite deck was the Guardian Tarot. February, it was Cosmic Slumber. March was Goblins and Gardens. April was Mars Power. May was Cosmovisions. June was Gourmet Tarot. July was Sacred Sites. August was Lord of the Rings Tarot. September, I lost track of the months for a moment there, was Crystal Visions. Really like that one. Then October was Barcana, November was Star Trek Tarot, and December was Guardian of the Night. So between Sacred Sites and Cosmic Slumber, my pick is Cosmic Slumber. All right. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now, between Goblins and Gardens and Mars Power. Gosh. Man. Oh my God, I have no idea. I kind of like them equally. So, here's the thing. I'm doing a full study. It's not really a study of the Mars Power. It's actually a study of the Rujin Kato, the Dragon God cards. And I just connect it with the Mars Power. So it's kind of sort of a mini study of the Mars Power. So I've used the Mars Power a lot this year. A lot. Whereas Goblins and Gardens, it's one of those decks that, like, the theme of it, and it's one of those decks that I'm always thrilled to pull out. Like, it's just it's a fun fucking deck, you know? And that said, some of the imagery on the Goblins Gardens, I'm not quite sure about. But then again, I have the same feeling about the Mars Power, because the Mars Power, I feel like, goes its own way. Like, I'm really interested in checking out the other decks from the Six Ad Girls company. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, especially Star Power and Moon Power. And it seems like Star Power is a little bit more RWS, which is more my speed. So, like, there's an element of the Mars Power that I'm just not quite fully connecting with, because it kind of goes its own way, and it kind of throws off my interpretations of the cards. And I get a similar sort of thing with the Goblins and Gardens, but I gotta say, I think I like Goblins and Gardens more. So, Goblins and Gardens. All right. And then, now, so the final two, Star Trek and Gourmet. Okay, this is difficult, but also really easy. It's Star Trek Tarot. And I think that kind of shows me what the winner is going to be. And I feel like this is no surprise to anyone. I have used the Star Trek Tarot a lot this year, and it's one of those decks that it's very political in nature because Star Trek is very political. I am a massive, massive Trekkie. Yeah, and and here's the thing, it's not my ultimate, like, my favorite tarot deck is actually not even on this list. And that's the Anna K Tarot. So this isn't necessarily my favorite decks. It's more what I used a lot and really gleaned a lot from in 2024. So none of these are my ultimate favorite tarot deck, which is the Anna K. And that deck, it's used for something that's very specific for me. You know what I mean? And because of that, it doesn't quite, it's not my usual in rotation sort of deck, But the Star Trek Tarot, I pulled out a lot. And because I needed the energies of Star Trek, for various things that was going on, that were going on this year. There was a lot of political stuff that was going on that the Star Trek Tarot really helped me with. And, and because of that, I just, I can't pick this again for 2025. And the creator is looking to create more Star Trek decks, which I'll be interested in checking out. But obviously, I think we know that the winner is the Star Trek Tarot. All right, yay! That's my fireworks. So yeah, should I just pull this out real quick to show some of the cards? Yeah. All right, here's the bag. Of course, yep, we've all seen that a bunch of times. Love this deck. I mean, obviously, you kind of have to be a fan of Star Trek to understand what's going on in here, or at least familiar with it. Each card represents an episode of the original series. This is not the mass market TNG deck. The creator of this deck is looking to come out with a TNG version, which I will, scoop up immediately. I am not interested in the mass market one. It's just, I considered it when it first came out because I'm such a huge Trekkie, and TNG is my favorite Star Trek. But it just was not done well at all, and it was very disappointing. However, this deck is amazing. Oh, look at that, the triples. And I really look forward to Mark Adambaum's future works. So this is the winner of the 2024 Tarot Tournament, and here we go. Well, let's find something to leave this on. Let's see. Whoa, that's weird. We won't do that one. Let me see. Let's leave it on. Where's the Gorn? That one, that's like my favorite card in this deck. Let's see. Where's the Gorn? Let's see. Did I already pass it? I may have already passed it. Yeah, we'll leave it on the aliens. So it's one of the extra cards in this deck. I think there's two. I think there's two extra cards. We'll leave it on the aliens. All right. So the winner is the Star Trek Tarot. All right, so that is it for my magical month. I'm doing the same thing in 2025. I'm going to keep it as my magical month. That's working for me. And just kind of going over my tarot and spiritual journals. I did change some things up for 2025. And I'm going to continue doing the Rujin Kado. And that's going to last another year. I've kind of mapped that out. So there will be one more year of the Rujin Kado with the Mars Power Tarot. Yeah, and I'm going to kind of on and off do a study of the Kamito Yokai Oracle. And I am doing an astrological study, which I still haven't fully worked out. The first video for that is going to be kind of a kind of an experiment. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be doing a study of all 12 zodiac signs for the year. So there will be one video a month. The first one will be Aquarius, which I will be posting right before, right around the beginning of the Aquarius season. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Happy New Year. And I will see you next time. Bye.